Say hey, Yellow Jacket football fans. Welcome to the 10th edition of Locker Room Predictions. And joining me this morning is Calhoun's head football coach, Coach Clay Stevenson. And, Coach, did you beat the rain at practice this morning?
We almost beat the rain. I guess that's a oxymoron, but it got us right at the end. But it was not too bad.
Not too bad at all. Coach Luke is in a meeting, so he will not be with us, but we do have his picks. So let's review what happened last week. And congratulations to Coach Clay. He was a champion last week. He got 17 out of 20 for 85%.
Moving on up.
Yes, you are. It reminds me of an old TV show. Luke came in second with 16 out of 20 for 80%. I came in third with 15 out of 20, 75% for the season. Coach Clay is moving on up. He is 106 out of 159 correct. That is, thank you very much. I appreciate the background music. And second place is Luke with 111, 70%, and I'm leading away with 114. So we will get started. The high school season we'll start off with first, and Yellow Jackets hosting Lafayette. This is senior night. This is a big night. 22 seniors, isn't it?
25.
25, I'm sorry. 25 seniors. Big night for the seniors.
Yeah, it is. Looking forward to getting those guys out there and recognizing them. Been a crazy week with a short week and then the rain on top of it. It's rained just about every day, but the seniors are fired up and ready to get out there for one final regular season game. Yeah,
you usually do Monday in the afternoon. You got a little rain that day too, or did you?
Yeah, so we basically just moved everything a day. So today is my Thursday. I know it's your Wednesday, and so Monday was our Tuesday. So I had to Sunday. We tried to get them in there and do a kind of a heavy walkthrough, but it was raining, so we went to the gym. Yeah. Anyway, we had to shift our mind on Sunday night that it was actually Monday night. So there we are.
Colleges, pros do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a different day of the week
from what it is for everybody else.
For everybody else, yeah. Yeah, football's a different beast. Okay, so let's get started. Yellow Jackets versus hosting Lafayette. As we said, it is senior night, 25 seniors out there. This was moved because of getting officials. That's why we're playing on Thursday.
That's correct. Yep. Just had to choose one game, and that was what worked best that was actually the only one that worked with our schedule. So.
All right, so Luke picks Yellow Jackets to win, of course, and you're going to say something about Lafayette a little bit?
Yeah, they're I feel like they're improved from last year.
Yes.
Given a week off, they had a week off last week, and they're missing the playoffs. So you never know what you're going to get from a team like that. That's really has nothing to play for. They can come out and go two different ways. So we just got to make sure we take care of us and execute the way we know how to.
This is when a coaching staff may dive deep into their playbook and say, hey, let's run this play.
Yeah, that's right.
That we've never seen. I'm going to pick the Yellow Jackets to win also. Gordon Central versus Dade County. Gordon Central going for their 7th victory of the season.
That's awesome. Coach is doing a great job. Hopefully they get the last win of the regular season as well.
Luke and I both picked the Warriors. Lowndes at Valdosta, and I haven't circled this one yet, but I'm going to right now. So what do you think about Lowndes?
Yeah, it should be a great end of the regular season game for those guys. And this actually has bearing on our bracket in a roundabout way because Lowndes played Jenkins. So if Lowndes loses, that hurts Jenkins' opponent's record, which helps us because we're neck and neck right there with Jenkins. So I think if Lowndes loses, I think we bump ahead of Jenkins. So there's 4 or 5 games throughout the state that are kind of pretty cool to keep an eye on because it'll affect us down the road.
Coach Luke and I are going to pick Lowndes. Do you have a pick?
Yeah, Lowndes. I said Lowndes.
Okay, I'm sorry, missed it. And our last high school pick will be Sandy Creek at Troop. These are 2 3A teams, and they're battling for first place. And there's at least 2 regions where this last game determines first place.
And this one is another one that directly impacts us as well. If Sandy Creek wins, we can't pass them in the rankings. But if Troop upsets them,
yes,
we're already ahead of Troop. So that means it's a long story. We know we're in the top 8. With any of these games that we bump up, that's a better chance or a better seed. So if Troop wins, we bump up a seed. If Sandy Creek wins, we stay where we are. So,
I think I saw us right now like around number 7 or 9.
but all these games affect us. We're not going to be 9. We'll be at least top 8. We're anywhere from scenarios where we're 3 and scenarios where we're 7. So
okay.
all these games it's kind of like the 7 degrees of separation or whatever it is, where every game matters. But I think Sandy Creek gets the win.
The big thing is take care of your own business, get victories.
Right.
So Coach Luke and I are going to take Sandy Creek over Troop. Moving along to the college scene, Ohio State versus Penn State. At the beginning of the season, this was going to be a battle for number 1 in the nation. Penn State has relieved their coach of his duties, and who knows what Penn State's going to bring, but it's going to be a good game. Coach Luke picks Ohio State.
Yeah, I think Ohio State gets the win and carries on their great season.
My darling bride and I are going to be at our niece's house in Brentwood outside of Nashville. All 3 of them will be rooting vehemently for the Buckeyes, and I think the Buckeyes will win too. Indiana at Maryland. Coach Luke picks Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana big.
Me too, Indiana big. UGA versus the Gators. This is the world's largest cocktail party, and Coach Luke picks UGA.
Yeah, I think Georgia gets the win. It's a game I wanted to go to, and this is really a weekend that we could have pulled a college football game off, but the day after trick-or-treating, I think we may have some tired kids, so we're going to sit home and watch it on the couch.
There you go. I'm going to pick UGA also. Ole Miss versus South Carolina. And this South Carolina team has kind of fallen downhill here the last 2 or 3 games of the season. Ole Miss has to be wary of them. And, of course, Lane Kiffin is being considered for every job from the Pope to high school football head coach.
Yeah, South Carolina had every chance to win last week. They actually, if you look at it, they probably should have won the game. But Alabama keeps winning games like that. But I think Ole Miss is going to be too good for them. Coach
Luke and I also pick Ole Miss. Georgia Tech and North Carolina State. For me, Saturday football is I got to see Georgia Tech and Vandy playing. Georgia Tech is traveling to North Carolina State to take on the Wolfpack. This North Carolina State's not bad, and Georgia Tech seems to play games close to the vest.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Tech's got to just keep winning those close games. Yes. And at this point, every game just gets bigger and bigger and bigger for those guys. So hopefully they go on the road and get the win.
Coach Luke and I are going to pick the Yellow Jackets from Georgia Tech also. Vandy at Texas, this other team that is just doing really well. Texas's quarterback may or may not play. We're talking about the young Mr. Manning. Texas doesn't have a whole lot of offense. Vandy's got a dynamic quarterback. What do you think, Coach?
I'm going to go with Texas at home. I think they, Vandy's, again, they just keep hanging on and winning games, but Texas at home hopefully is too much for them.
That's a good upset pick. This game worries me also. Coach Luke and I both picked Vandy. Miami at SMU. SMU got to be a darling here about 2 weeks ago. Now things have faltered just a little bit. What do you think about the Hurricanes against the Mustangs?
I think Miami gets back on track and goes on the road and gets the win.
All 3 of us think the same thing, Miami. Notre Dame at Boston College. Notre Dame, this is a team that just runs the ball really, really well. 2 dynamic running backs. I don't know if Boston College has got enough in them to get the job done.
Yeah, Fighting Irish.
Fighting Irish for Luke and I also. Vols at Oklahoma. I rode with Oklahoma last week. That did not work out. The Vols, an interesting team. They seem to be on the cusp of being really good.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma gets back on track. They had some interesting comments with him and Kiffin back and forth, I guess, after last week's game. But I think Oklahoma gets the win.
Coach Luke and I are going to go with the Vols. I picked Oklahoma last week. I'll probably regret not sticking with them this week, but we'll see what happens. Cincinnati at Utah. The Bearcats are doing a nice job. Utah has just been quietly playing good football.
I'm going to go with Utah. I don't know much about either one of those.
I like the Bearcats and what they've been doing, but out at Utah, Coach Luke and I are going to go with you and pick Utah to win this game. Michigan versus Purdue. I think this is one of our easier picks, maybe.
Yeah, Michigan, pretty big.
Go Blue, Michigan for Coach Luke and I. Army at Air Force. We got a bunch of Calhoun kids in this game for both sides. We even got I think he's still the offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Cody Worley's there.
Cody, yes.
Kirby, Quinn Smith's at Air Force. And these next 2 games, so I took Tucker and Bowen to the Berry game last week, And I looked up, and I was like, that looks like Quinn Smith. But it couldn't be. And got closer, and it was Quinn. He flew home, and I think he watched the Berry game and might have flown home the next morning, but they were off last week. So I'm going to go with the Air Force getting the win at home.
Yeah, this is the second game in the Commander's Cup trophy race, and then Coach Luke and I are going to pick Air Force also. Berry at center, and if you're talking about a bunch of kids playing college football, we got a bunch of Calhoun kids on the Berry team. The
Yeah, it was great. Last week, all of them got in the game and played great. I think they continue their conference wins and get the win on the road.
Yeah, this is a big one. They really need this victory and the next victory and close out as their conference champions. Coach Luke and I are going to pick Berry also. And then our last college pick, Auburn versus Kentucky. Auburn ought to win this game, Coach.
They ought to, but who knows? Crazy stuff happens to Auburn. But I'm still going to take the Tigers.
Coach Luke and I are going to take the Tigers also. We have 2 NFL picks for you. Falcons at New England. Falcons kind of laid an egg last week.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Didn't get to watch any of it, but it's just perplexing. They look like world beaters one week and then can't score any points the next. But I'm going to go with the Falcons. I'm probably going to get a loss, but they're as up and down as they are. This will be the bounce-back game that they play well.
Coach Luke picks the Falcons. I'm going to go back to my philosophy that I don't follow very well. I'm going to pick the home team. New England's got a nice ball team, a nice record. And our last NFL pick is the Chiefs at the Bills. The Chiefs are playing so much better right now. The Bills are still a good ball team. This is a nice matchup. Could be a conference matchup.
Yeah, the Chiefs getting those 2 receivers back that didn't have the first couple of games. It's people don't realize how much of a difference that makes for Patrick Mahomes. But I'm going to go with the Chiefs on the road.
Coach Luke goes with the Bills at home. I'm going to stay with the Bills at home also. Folks, we hope your picks are better than ours. We really appreciate you listening to the show. And don't forget, go to CalhounTDClub.com and you can click on the podcast and review what you've picked or make fun of what we've picked. You've been listening to Locker Room Predictions.